Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. I am so excited to film. I have been gone, been sick for the past couple of weeks and kind of detached from the whole makeup world. There's been lots of new releases or lots of exciting makeup coming up and I'm rejuvenated. Like I am excited about makeup. And today I'm talking all about products, best at Sephora. This is my Sephora recommendations video. The sale starts tomorrow and I have so many in front of me. So I tried to reduce the makeup to latest releases. I obviously have other Sephora recommendations video that I can link down below and you can watch those for other makeup. But in this video is focused more on newer releases. I see I cheated here and there a little bit, but I couldn't help myself. So grab yourself something to drink, something to eat. We will be here for a while and let's get started. One thing I want to mention is that I will not do any Pat McGrath recommendations because Pat McGrath has better sales on her website. Now, if you don't like the shipping from Pat McGrath, you can absolutely, use the 20% off the Sephora or the 15%, but usually Pat McGrath has 35% sales. So I will not talk about the Pat McGrath anything. I am going to start with primers. I picked two of my favorite primers at the moment. One that it is an arm and a leg, and that is the Tom Ford. This is a Traceless Soft Matte Primer. I think this is my favorite primer that I own. It is a very smoothing, very blurring. You need less than a pea size, like half a pea size amount. And I love it. I think it works so well under almost all of my foundations. And you get a good amount, 1 ounce. This is, I think, $90 or something around there. So 20% or 10% or 15% will help. But if this is way too much, this Milk Makeup, this is wonderful. It reminds me a little bit of the Tom Ford primer, and they do similar things. I think the Tom Ford is a little bit more intense. It covers the pores just a little bit better. It makes the foundation last all day long. But Milk Makeup reminds me of it. It's a little bit more moisturizing, but it still gives you that blurring effect and smoothness. I have actually a small one, and I think I'm going to purchase the big one in the sale just because like I'm almost out of this one. Well, not really, but I have been using this quite a bit, and you don't need a lot. You also don't, if you put too much of both of these, they could peel or they could just bunch up. So be careful. Don't use too much. You don't want to waste your money. Moving on to foundations. And I have here 3 foundations and 2 kind of tinted moisturizers. I'm going to start with the one that I've discovered the latest. And this is the Haus Labs foundation. I have done a full day wear test on this one, and it is such a good foundation. It is what I'm wearing today, and it is what I've been wearing since I bought it. Honestly, I feel like I keep reaching for this because it's so good. It's not affordable. It's still high end, but it is not like my Clé de Peau or Tom Ford foundations, but it has the same properties. It is a very natural luminous finish. It's not too glowy, so I wouldn't call this a glowy foundation, but it has a luminosity to it. It is a good medium coverage. You can build it up a little bit more. You can sheer it out, and it has such a good finish. It lasts so well throughout the day, and I think now that it's kind of fall, winter, on my skin it works even better because my skin tends to be a little dry. So I want something that has a little bit of radiance, a little bit of luminosity. I don't want something matte. Wonderful foundation. So impressed with that. And I think a lot of skin types would be able to wear that. If you are very oily, I would not recommend that. But if you're normal to dry, even combo, I think you would enjoy that one. My next one is probably the most reliable foundation I have in my collection, and that is the Makeup Forever New HD Skin. They reformulated their old one and we're all scared about that, but honestly this is even better. It's a lighter on the skin. It looks like my skin. I can put the most sheer amount on, and you would never know I would wear foundation, but I can build it up and get more coverage. This is my most versatile foundation. It reminds me of the Lisa Eldridge, and I have this in my kit because I think it is one of the best foundations for just everybody. Obviously there's exceptions. Foundation is so personal in a way. It really depends how your skin reacts, but overall, working on so many different skin types, this works on 9 out of 10 of them, and it is fantastic. The third foundation I want to recommend is this new NARS one. I mean, it came out like a year ago, but for me, it's still new. It is the, what's the name? Light Reflecting Foundation. It is Luminous. I've heard some people say that this is more of a natural finish. I don't see it. To me, it's quite luminous, but it is a beautiful luminosity. The only negative with this foundation is that it does not last well. So I have to use a primer like the Tom Ford with this for it to last longer on me. But it has such a beautiful finish, and I do enjoy it. Again, this is, I would say, a little bit trickier than the other two because you have to use a primer that enhances the lasting power of the foundation, because the first 4 or 5 hours it looks wonderful and then it can really break apart. But pairing it with the right primer makes this last longer, and it is such a stunning finish. I have the color Fiji and it works so well, and every time I wear this foundation I get compliments on my skin. So I thought I would mention it, even though it's a little trickier. It's still such a good one. Moving on to two kind of face tint serums. There are these two right here. This is the Summer Friday Sheer Skin Tint, and then this is the Caliray Free Dreaming. What is this called? Diffusing Tint. They both kind of do similar things, but the Caliray is more of a matte finish. The Summer Friday is more of a natural luminous finish. And I thought I would give you both options. The Summer Friday blends into the skin so nicely. It is kind of like a no makeup, but you can build this up. I know it says here light coverage, but I can get a light medium with this. And it has a beautiful finish, just lovely. I put a few drops in my hand, you know, and just spread it all around. It is so, so wonderful. And then out of both of them, I think I prefer the Caliray just a little bit more because it has that almost a velvety finish to it. It is not a glowy skin tint, and that's kind of rare to find. Most of the time when you get a skin tint, it tends to be quite luminous, quite glowy, and this one has that velvety feel, and I love it. I think it's even good for like just fall, winter as well. The Summer Fridays, I tend to gravitate towards in the summer, but they both work so well, and they're so beautiful on the skin. The blurs, it kind of blurs the pores, and it just looks so good and like your skin. Concealers, two that I talk all the time, so I'm just gonna mention it quickly. The Corrector, NARS Corrector, and then the Charlotte Tilbury Corrector. I love them both. I use them all the time. Now, my ride or die concealer for the past few years has been this Makeup Forever Ultra HD Concealer. However, I have discovered the Huda Beauty Concealer, and I have not looked back. This is my favorite concealer that I own right now. I have 2.7 and 4.3. I gravitate towards 2.7 now that it's, you know, winter. I'm quite fair. But in the summer, I did wear the 4.3. This has full coverage, but it is such a good, it's not radiant, but it's just smoothing I wouldn't say it's drying and matte either. It's just natural finish. I think they did such a fantastic job with this concealer. I am so impressed. Honestly, I've been impressed of the Huda beauty products in general. I think she's getting just better and better, and this has surprised me. I was shocked when I tried it on, and I've just been using this. This is my main concealer, but I will share a couple other ones that, if that's just too much full coverage, I have these two right here that are lighter coverage and more luminous. This is the Charlotte Tilbury New Concealer, the Beautiful Skin Radiant Concealer, and this is the Milk Makeup Future Fluid All Over Cream Concealer. Can we just get simple names? They both do similar. They both are quite luminous under the eyes. I do have to powder both of these, but they have such a beautiful creamy and luminous and radiant brightening effect. They both are absolutely gorgeous. I mean, I think I prefer a little bit the Charlotte Tilbury. It feels just slightly, I don't know, more creamy, and I think the color works a little bit better than the Milk one, but they're very similar. I'm swatching both of them so I can feel them for you. Yeah, the Milk Makeup is a little thicker. The Milk Makeup is right here than the Charlotte Tilbury, but they have similar effect under the eyes. There's that luminosity, and you can see here the Milk Makeup is just a little darker. The Charlotte Tilbury is right there. In Milk Makeup, I am 11C, and then 6 medium in Charlotte Tilbury. So these are great options if you have dry under eyes. That is a wonderful concealer. And then this one, I don't know if I've talked about it much lately, just because I've been on the Huda concealer, but this one is a great one as well, and I've slowly been using it more. This is a Lancôme Tint Idole Ultra Wear Concealer. I know I've talked about this when it first came out for a while. It used to be my go-to, but this is a great one as well. Now powders, Kosas, of course, I've talked about it so much, but a new one that I've discovered that is not very similar to the Kosas is this Haus Labs powder. I first used it with the Haus Labs foundation, and I liked it, but I felt it was a little heavy, but it lasts so well. It makes my makeup last all day long, even though initially it does feel a little heavier. It's not this super light powder that you don't feel it on. You see the powder, but you see blurring, not necessarily like the actual powder on the skin. It's something unique about this that I wasn't expecting to like, and the more I wear it, the more I love it, because it makes my foundation last all day long. Under the eyes, it looks good. All over, it looks good. And I've been reaching for this. When I have a long day and I need a powder that will make everything last, it is this one. And then the other one is Makeup Forever. This is the Ultra HD Micro Finishing Loose Powder. I love this so much. This one feels like nothing. This looks like nothing. This just kind of sets the concealer, and that's it. It's not ultra blurring. It's not ultra anything. It's just barely there powder. And those are wonderful. Now, I do want to quickly mention this one. This is from Westman Atelier. This is such an expensive powder, guys. And this one is in creme, and I like it for kind of the forehead, the pore area around here. I don't love it under the eyes, but this does look so beautiful just around the pores and the forehead, and I really like it for throughout the day if I need to set my foundation or concealer, or I get a little oilier. I like to use this one. It is extremely expensive, so I'm kind of hesitant to recommend it because I don't necessarily think it's worth that much money, but I do like the way it kind of sets my foundation, so I will mention it. I have discovered so many good bronzers this year, and I have a few to talk about right now. An old one that I have to mention, and that is the Westman Atelier contour stick. This is my favorite contour stick, and just contour in general. This is in Biscuit, and it is the most blendable, the easiest, and the most perfect color for my skin tone. It's gorgeous, it's very luxurious, but if you want to invest in a good contour that's seamless, that blends so nicely, the color's perfect. They have, I think, 3 different colors now. It is so wonderful, and I've talked about that for years, but I thought I would quickly mention it. But let's move on to some cream bronzers that I've discovered this year that I have really been enjoying. Rose Ink Bronzer. This is in Kawaii. I feel like I always mess that up. But this is a very powdery, velvety cream bronzer. It is light. It builds up on itself very nicely, but look, it blends in very smoothly and it's not too intense. I think I like this bronzer because of that, because I feel safe using it. So if I'm too fair, I'm not scared to use this one because it slowly builds on itself. And I really like that finish, that velvety, powdery finish, even though it's a cream bronzer. And I think she did an amazing job with this one. Now, one that I would say is my favorite bronzer that I own, it is the new Makeup by Mario. This is the Sculpt Skin Enhancer. This is in light medium, and I have talked so much about this one. This was such a good surprise. This is a very almost buttery, like cold butter feel. Like that is the way I can explain it. But it is so skin-like. It blends in just, you could never tell that you have bronzer on, but it warms up your skin. It really is a skin enhancer. And now I understand why they don't really call it a bronzer, because it really just enhances your skin. I think this product needs to be tried by everybody because it is that good and innovative, and I have used it so much. Now, it's not that bronzer that will give you a ton of color. That's not what that does. But it will warm up the skin and it will just make your skin look so healthy and glowy. Now on the flip side, it is this one. This is the NARS Laguna, the cream bronzer. And this, my friends, is so intense. It's kind of what I'm wearing today. And I had to be very careful not use too much just because it is a very pigmented. I mean, like, look at that. This is the Laguna too. And it's a very pigmented, it does blend in really nice and easy, but it's kind of the opposite of the Makeup by Mario. This has more of a dry finish, like a matte finish. It's not that kind of glossier, luminous feel than the Makeup by Mario. So these are opposites, but they're both absolutely wonderful. And then I did want to mention one powder bronzer that I have been using a lot lately, and I kind of just went back to it. This is not a new product, but this is the bronzer from Charlotte Tilbury. It's massive and I've really been loving it lately. This is in the color medium, and this is just such a good deal. I know she came out with a cream bronzers, but I just love this one more than her cream bronzer. I think this is like mistake proof. It blends into the skin so nicely. The colors, you need to find your color. The light is extremely light. I cannot use it. And then the medium works for me, but if you're a little lighter than me, you may struggle there. I think that from light to medium, they need a color right there in between. But this is a great value. You get a lot of product and it works on any skin type. I forgot one, and this one I wanted to mention because Tom Ford has re-released their Shape and Illuminate, but I'm not sure if they changed the formula. They were out everywhere I look, Nordstrom, Saks, Sephora, but they came back. So this is the Shade and Illuminate. This is Intensity 1, and it is probably my most used and repurchased product from Tom Ford. I mean, I use this in my kit a lot, so I'll give it that. But this duo is incredible. I hear a lot of people saying they don't use the highlighter. I use this highlighter all the time. It looks absolutely gorgeous. You have to use a dry beauty blender to put it on. You could wet it. It just can't be soaked, you know, it can't be super wet, but it just glows on your cheeks. And this cream, it is absolutely glorious. I heard a lot of people thinking that maybe they'll bring it back with just the cream, and I wish that was the case, because I do go through the cream contour a little bit more but then the highlighter. So I would like to have the option of just getting that on it by itself. But I'm curious about the new formula. If you guys have tried it, let me know. Did they change it? Because that would be a shame. I love this one so much. Blushes. There have been so many good blushes lately, but my all-time favorite blushes are from Gucci. I have here 3 colors that are just gorgeous, and this is the time to buy this, because you're not gonna get a better deal than this. The Gucci bronzer is really wonderful as well, but this, I don't think I've ever, wait, I can do this. I never thought I would love a powder blush this much. This is the Rosy Beige, my most used one. And then I have here the Warm Berry, which I have been using quite a bit now in the fall. And then this one right here is the Tender Apricot, and I will be picking up a pink one. I think the number 1 or 3. Was it number 1 or 3? I think so. In the sale, because I am obsessed with these blushes. If you've been looking at them, get it. You will not regret it. I don't think I've seen one bad review of these blushes. They are matte, but they're luminous. They blend in like a dream. They're mistake proof. Even this intense color, like, you can work with it so well. I love these. I cannot recommend them enough. They're gorgeous, and you will not regret it. If you need a blush and you're not into super powdery matte blushes, but you need that for your texture, look no further. This is it. Now, I have been loving this new Natasha Denona, the Dream Collection, the Cheek Duo, and you guys know that release, the Dream Collection, for me from Natasha Denona was her best release ever. Just the whole, I loved everything about it. So I thought I would mention, this is the blush I'm wearing today, and the highlighter. I think it's beautiful. It's easy. I like the undertone of the blush. It's a little bit on the cooler side when you swatch it, but once it's on your cheek, I don't think it's too cool. I think it's very wearable, and the highlighters are actually wonderful. If you're fair. If you fair, light, medium, but if you're medium and deeper, I don't know, they may be a little too intense for you. Like, they'll just be too bright. But for my skin tone, lighter and a little deeper, just wonderful. Charlotte Tilbury released these beauties right here, and I love them. Absolutely love them. I have been using, this is the deeper one, and then this is a light medium, I think. And I really thought I was going to use the deeper one more, just because the color story, I like it a little bit more, but I've been reaching for this one so much more. These 3 I've used a lot. I really like this blush. It is more of a cool tone, rosy, but it's not too cool tone. Again, it's very wearable. I've had questions about this and Pillow Talk blush, so I'll swatch them. So I have the Pillow Talk blush right here, and I'm gonna kind of go on the outside first. So the bottom one is the Pillow Talk blush, and the top one is this one. And they're similar, but the Pillow Talk is a little bit more muted. This one's a little bit pinkier and a little bit brighter. But they're, you know, they're different, but they're similar enough where you don't need them both. But obviously here you get another bright pink blush and then two amazing highlighters. That is the other blush, and you can see it's really bright. But I love the highlighters. They're so smooth, so wonderful. And down there, you probably can't see a thing, but yeah, I love this new release from her. And I think in the summer I will be reaching a lot more for this one, just because it's that like more peachy, corally, just brighter cheeks, and I can pull this off as well. It is really wonderful, but I've been reaching for this one a lot more now that I'm so fair. I'm gonna stop there with the blush shades. Even though I have so many more that I love here, I will stop there. Now for highlighters, I don't have any individual highlighters that are new and super exciting that I love so much. So I'm just gonna recommend two of my all-time favorite. Westman Atelier, this is the Peau de Pêche. I still use it. The second I bought it, I have been obsessed with it, used it so much, and I think it is a hidden gem. I don't know how hidden it is anymore, but for me, this highlighter, it's like a blush topper highlighter. It just changes the cheek. It gives you the most natural luminosity and glow without any sort of glitter. Now this color, she has other colors that have glitter in it, which I am offended by it. I just don't know why she would put glitter in some of the other ones, but extremely wonderful highlighter that works on many different skin tones, because it's not meant to be just this bright highlighter. It just meant to give some color to the cheek, but also give the glow. And the Dior Backstage Glow Face Palette, this is number 2. It's probably the only powder highlighter that I reach for intentionally. It's not like the Charlotte Tilbury, oh, it's there, right, in the quad, but this is the all highlighter, and I reach for this over and over and over again, and I'm shocked that I have not reached like the pan, because this one right here, I use it all the time. And these, all of them, even this one, I use it as a bronzer topper. Fabulous formula. And they came out, I saw that they came out with a new eyeshadow, a green eyeshadow. I will be getting that in the sale. Now eyeshadows, I initially only picked 2 to share with you, but I thought I would share 5. I'm going to start with my favorite eyeshadow that I have purchased in the past year. I don't even think it's been a year since I purchased it, but this is my Tom Ford Eye Color Quad Creme. This is in Smoky Quartz, and it is my most used eyeshadow palette. This one and the Victoria Beckham one. If you want a very basic but user-friendly and just most amazing creamy browns, and boring, yes, it is boring, this is it. I think it's so worth, even though it's so expensive, it's worth the money because I use it almost every day. I can see myself panning these because every time I don't know what to do, I will reach for this one. If the eyeshadow doesn't look just great, I'll just grab one of these and like fix it. If I want a really nice smoky brown, I reach for this one. If I want a daily look, I just reach for this one and just use one of those. It is so good. And I saw that he came out with 2 other color stories, but the green one attracts me, the purple one, no. But to me, this is an everyday palette, and it is definitely my most used one. Another one that I've discovered recently, this is the Charlotte Tilbury Exaggerize. This is not new, but it's new to me, and I have used it mainly in the summer a lot since I bought it. It was wonderful. I think I bought it in the summer and I love it. I think it is absolutely gorgeous and well worth the money. Now I have 3 bigger palettes here that I want to share with you. The number 1 that I would recommend is the Natasha Denona Dream palette. I think this is her best like midi palette release. I like this better than the Glam. I like this better than Retro. And I think it's because it's a combination of both of them. I have warm tones, I have cool tones, I have purples, I have like a fun like duochrome. I have all these in one palette and I love it. I love everything about this. I love that I have a black. I love this color right here, Babies. I think it is, oh, it's so reflective and glittery, but it's like a refined glittery. I have Thrill right here that it's also so good. It's one of my perfect palettes from her. Even though I'm kind of boring, I like that there's a little color in here. I like that I can kind of mix and match some purples, and yes, this is a wonderful palette. I've done, I don't know if it's 3 looks or 5 looks with that palette, but I love it. Now, a newer one is this one from Huda Beauty. And I would say if you like golds and you are deeper complexion, this is perfect. I don't think this is the best for fair skin to light skin. Light to medium, okay. Medium, deep, so good. So good, because these colors will pop on you. The quality is wonderful. You get so many different formulas. You get the golds. You need to like golds. They are a little repetitive, but I still like it. I think it will really look so good on you. My one negative about this palette is too many warm tones that are very similar. So on the eyes, I feel like they could have given us a little bit something different here. But all this, like up here, I think it's very creative, very fun. It's new. And again, if you are like light, medium, and deeper than that, I think it's gonna look really good on you. And then the last palette I want to recommend is one that I haven't talked about a ton on camera, but this is the Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is the Nouveau palette, and this is one of my favorite palettes from her. It is so good. I love the tones. Even now, I think it's wearable for fall. It looks quite summery, but if you take that purple and that one from there, it's really fall appropriate. And I think she came back and she brought new formula, and I really think she did such an amazing job with this. I love, every time I wear this, I love the looks I come up with. I love this green right here. Oh, all over. There's this duochrome right here. Even this one. So good. She just did such an amazing job with this palette, and I know I talked about it right when it came out, did some looks with it, but I thought I would mention it again if you are interested, because it is such a good release. I know she came out with another palette, the Rose something. I did not purchase that. I'm not planning to purchase it because I have too many palettes and I want to enjoy them. But if that formula is similar to this one, that may be a good one too. Moving on to lips, there have been so many good lipstick releases. I will mention 2 that are similar to each other. One is the Dior, this is the Rouge Dior Forever. And this is the new NARS, I don't know these names, the Power Matte Lipstick. And they both came out with multiple colors. I do have many colors from them, but I will say the 505 is probably from Dior, is probably the most sought after, just because it's a beautiful nudie rosy pink color that it's beautiful. But my favorite from Dior is this one. This is the 840, and it is this bright red color. Look at that. So good. And the quality, guys, of these are so unique. They are almost like a liquid lipstick on. They are on the drier side for a lipstick, but that's because they literally replaced your liquid lipstick. They're not as drying as a liquid lipstick, and they're comfortable. I consider them quite comfortable, but for a bullet lipstick, they are on the drier side. So you need to know that going in. They go on super smooth, creamy, but then they do dry down. And that's what makes them last so well. They truly do last the best. And the same with NARS. This color right here is a No Angel, and probably my most used color right there. And this is like a power matte. It's exactly what this is. And then the Killer Queen. Now, when I showed you guys, this color was like literally peeling off my lips. But I have worn it since, and I have not had that issue. And I think it was the makeup remover that I was using in between swatches. But yeah, those are some two new formulas that I think they are similar enough where you don't need both, but they're both, you know, wonderful. Color are amazing, and I think NARS is more affordable than the Dior, but not by much. They're all expensive. But if you're looking for a liquid lipstick kind of formula that's more comfortable, still lasts a long time. I would say out of both of these, the Dior lasts better. Like, I can wear that red Dior and be very comfortable and confident that it will last almost all day. Unless I eat something super greasy, then I'll need to retouch. But yeah, these are two new formulas that I think are innovative and amazing. Now, Rare Beauty came out with their matte lipsticks, and this is their lip liner, and I love this new release from them. This is actually the one I was wearing before. I need to touch it up. This is in the color Worthy, and I actually used a deeper lip liner, but also the color Wise. These are the two colors that I have, and I love the color Wise. It's a little bit deeper, a little bit, it's cool tone. It's right there. But it's so beautiful. And I just really like the formula. It is a matte, but it's creamy and very comfortable. I don't find it too drying. And I really like the lip liners as well. They have this, they roll up and down, so it's really easy to use. I like the price point. And just in general, I think Rare Beauty is such a good brand. I love almost everything from them, and I'm gonna pick up a couple more of the lipsticks during the sale because they're just so good. Like I mentioned, I really liked everything that the Natasha Denona came out with in her Dream Collection, including the lip products. These are so good. You have to like that nude cool tone pink. Otherwise you won't like it, and I usually don't like it, but somehow I love it. So the lipstick is this color right here, so you can see it's kind of like a lighter nude pink, but I really like to pair this even with their lip liner or even a deeper one. And I really love the gloss. I'm gonna put this on because it makes your lips just so juicy and wet. Look at that. And I just kind of put it in the center. And wow, it's very glossy. And I can pair this with quite a lot. Everything will get a little bit more milkier and a little bit more cooler tone when I put this on top. But I really like that new release. Again, I have this NARS liquid lipstick that I've talked about before, but I think if you're looking for an actual liquid lipstick, this formula from NARS is incredible. Probably my most favorite liquid lipstick formula. And this is the Power Matte Lip Pigment. This color is Slow Ride, but they have quite a lot of different colors. And This one from Armani, this is the Lip Maestro, and they have a kit with 3 colors. So I'll talk about that a little bit more in my next video. That will be all about like little kits that I'm gonna, that they have at Sephora right now that are incredible value. But this formula is also wonderful. And this lipstick, this is in 209. So gorgeous. Every time I wear it, somebody asks me, okay, what is on your lips? It's so good. And it's kind of still slight glossiness to it, but it's not. It's a very interesting formula. I really like it. I kind of have to spread it out with my fingers, and that's kind of how I wear it, almost like a stain. But it's gorgeous. And then last one I want to mention is this by Refi. This I have used since the summer, and it is always in my purse. I always use this lip liner. It's a lip liner, and I'm surprised I still have. And then there is almost like a sealer in here, and you put that on top, and it gives that 90s look like that. So it's like lip liner, kind of brownish. The color is taupe. And then you put that on top, and it gives it like a matte velvety finish. And I really like it. I use it all the time. 2 things I want to mention real quick is this is a brush cleanser, like a spray. And I learned from Patty about this, and I have not looked back. I love this. I'm going to get a few. Also, Sephora has 30% off during the sale. Absolutely one of the best ones. And then the best setting spray I have ever found is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. This comes in a set as well that I will be talking about a little bit more in the next video, but those are 2 good things that if you need to pick up, are amazing. Last thing I want to talk about is 2 perfumes that I find that they are so fall, winter appropriate that I want to say anybody would like them, but I'm scared to say that because perfume is just such a personal thing, and it's hard to recommend them because they may smell different on you. However, if you're in store and you want to sniff these, and also the sale, 20% off of the perfumes, it's a lot of money. So I'm going to start with probably one of the most popular ones for fall winter. This is a replica by the fireplace, and I've had 3 10 ml, and then I went and purchased the big one because every winter I would go through them, and this is so wonderful, guys. It smells like fireplace, but caramel that's burning in a good way. It's smoky, it's sweet, and I love this. I love this perfume. It's very cozy, very warm, and it is amazing for winter. And then the second one is Angel's Share by Kilian. This I discovered last Christmas, and I fell in love. It is a boozy scent. It is sweet, boozy. It has cinnamon and spices in it, but it reminds me of a very fancy night bar, like the one that like has the velvet furniture in it, and not furniture, the velvet chairs, and just a very like expensive, but you don't smell like alcohol. It just gives that vibe, and obviously the bottle is incredible. So those are 2 perfumes that if I could pick for winter from Sephora, these are the 2 that I would go for. I will stop here because I could literally talk for another 2 hours about all the products that I love at Sephora, but these are kind of newer and products that I have been loving so much. And I'm going to do another video on the mini sets and gift sets that they have right now, because there's so many good ones that I want to share with you. and that's going to be my next video, and it should be in time for, you know, while the sale is still going on. I would love your recommendations. If you have any product that, Tanya, you need to try this, let me know down below, because I don't have a long list of products that I'm gonna get. It's just a few here and there, but I need recommendations. I love your recommendations, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm excited to be back. Give this video a like, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.